When I started copywriting, I really, really wanted to get good by practicing even before I had my first client. However, I did find it very demotivating because I had no guidance and no directions. And it was very confusing to kind of work out how to actually go through the practicing process. It's been 6 years since then, and I've been working full-time as a copywriter, and I've been teaching it for the last 2 years. And I can tell you that there is a way to practice copywriting in a more structured way where you can actually have fun, but also track your progress. But before we get into it, I just want to point out a few things, and most people kind of omit this part, but it's very important that you set a schedule for your practice. So immediately you look at your day and you're like, okay, where can I slot a regular practice in? Is it the first thing in the morning? Is it just before you go to bed? Is it during your lunch break? Whenever it is, just make sure you've got that down, and obviously be wise with the amount of time you set yourself. If you can't do an hour, don't say you're going to do an hour, just go for 15 minutes. Trust me, 15 minutes every single day for 2 months is better than like sporadic hour here and there. There's a very cool quote by the guy who wrote Atomic Habits. What was the quote? Okay, I don't remember the quote, but I remember the main idea, which was that basically we fall back down to our habits. So any kind of, like, we all have ups and downs, and at the end of the day, having consistent habits is what's going to save your ass. And if you don't have consistent habits, it's just a struggle. So yeah, develop a daily writing habit. The second thing is pick a specific skill that you want to focus on, a specific technique, a specific formula, whatever it is. Just be intentional and don't just do random stuff, because that doesn't work. You really need a system in place to be able to get better quicker. And then the third thing I would say is decide whether you want to focus on one type of copywriting or all types of copywriting. And I'm talking about like website copywriting, email copywriting, sales pages, whatever. I personally recommend that you practice all because it's going to help you build that copywriting muscle much quicker. And you never know what type of projects you're going to be working on, and the skills are transferable. If you write a couple of sales pages, you will take a lot of things out of the sales pages and will be able to use them in your email copywriting, for example. And then obviously the last thing you have to absolutely do is keep track of your work. So keeping track means that basically you can go back and you can see how much you've progressed, and you can reflect on what you've done and what you can do better. A lot of people just kind of, type something and then they leave it. That's it. They never look back at their work. But the only way to get better is to go back and reflect. And this is just not just with copywriting, but anything in life. Like, for example, I'm a roller skater, and as I'm learning new moves, I like to record myself and then watch myself do the move to understand, like, oh, okay, in this moment, I don't know, my body was tilted too much to the left and I lost balance, right? So the next time that I'm doing that, I'm more mindful. The same with copywriting. I go back over my work all the time, and then I reflect on, okay, right, I did this, but I could have done it better this way. And that just kind of sticks in your brain. And the next time you sit down to write copy, you're just that little bit better. And at the end of the day, you want to compound that 1% every single time is going to eventually take you, to be twice as good or 3 times as good or 10 times as good as you are now. However, if you're not reflecting, then you're not really getting better. You're just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you how I plan copywriting practicals for my students so that you can see how you can model off of that. But let me just walk you through it quickly. The first thing you're going to decide is the type of copywriting that you'll be doing, so the format and the purpose of it. The second thing is you're going to decide which kind of style you want to write in, or what part of copywriting do you want to practice. Then the third thing is you're going to decide what product or brand you're going to write for. And then the fourth thing is obviously you're going to write it, edit it, then you're going to leave it for a while, then you're going to come back to it, read it, and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Got it? Okay, so let me share my screen with you so that you understand what I'm talking about. So this is how I plan the practicals for my students. So you see, the task is plan and write a 3-part email campaign for Easter, right? So we decided, okay, this is what it's going to be. And then you'll be writing to an engaged segment of frequent purchasers. Think of people who are familiar with the brand and have already bought from them multiple times, right? So I'm just giving them a little bit of a context to understand who they're writing for. And then they have the instructions, right? Step-by-step instructions. Then I added some copywriting formulas. So basically pick the one you want to use in your emails, and then practice them in every single email. And then a choice of product that they could write for. So we have like a protein powder, we have a watch, a funky watch, and a dog leash. Now I understand that the process might be a little bit difficult for you, like on top of having to decide on brands and products, but also just you don't know what your options are in terms of the different copywriting techniques and the different things that you could practice within copywriting, because obviously you're just getting started, and I totally understand that. And that's why I've decided to create a solution for you. You are welcome. If you want, I personally will send you a copywriting practical every 2 weeks. And inside I'll give you the instructions, the product or the offer that you'll be writing for, as well as knowledge nuggets that you'll be learning. So it'll be something different every 2 weeks to help you deepen your understanding of the different copywriting formulas and techniques. And obviously I'll send you all the information and instructions that you need to complete the practical, just like the one you've seen a moment ago. I'll also give you guidance on how to reflect on your work and how to understand where you're at with your copywriting skills. And this will help you build your confidence so much, because there's nothing worse than just not knowing if you're good and if you're not good. I'm also going to open up a Discord community so that you can share your work in there and talk with the other people that will also be joining us on this adventure. If this sounds good to you, the link is in the description below. So please go ahead, check it out. And of course, as soon as you decide to join, you're going to receive your first ever copywriting practical, so you can get started literally right now. I would love to have you a part of it. So yep, the link is down there. Also, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments down below and let me know how you like this video and what is your biggest struggle with copywriting practicals. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The community is growing. I'm getting better at making videos, which is great. So yeah, more reasons to be here than ever.